Hello and welcome to MBC News with me, Kumbukani Piri, alongside Savita Wirima, my sign language interpreter. Tonight, our top stories. President Chakwera expresses delight over the strong and cordial relations between Malawi and Zimbabwe. The Malawi National Examinations Board (MANEB) has released the 2024 Primary School Leaving Certificate of Education and the Junior Certificate Examinations results. And in sports, Ascent Academy secures top spot in Group B of the CAF Champions League COSAFA qualifiers with 3 points after beating Eswatini's Young Buffaloes 2-1. Well, I'm glad you could join us. President Dr. Lazarus Chakwera has expressed delight over the strong and cordial relations between Malawi and Zimbabwe. Dr. Chakwera said this after meeting President Dr. Emerson Mnangagwa at the State House in Harare, Zimbabwe, where the two leaders held bilateral talks.
Happy to pay a courtesy call to my brother and tell him I'm in town. And he is always magnanimous, and he said, you're home, so I'm happy to be back home here. And we talked family business, and so how best we can serve our people and how best we can respond, even as I gave him congratulations ahead of time because he's now going to chair SADC. So, my expectation is that we will continue to rally behind our leadership as a region, so that the regional integration agenda becomes a reality. And you can do that with the innovation emphasis and the industrialization emphasis, and for us to be able to trade amongst ourselves the best of all.
The meeting was held on the sidelines of the SADC summit scheduled for tomorrow. The president also held meetings with Malawians living in Zimbabwe and held bilateral talks with the executive secretary for the United Nations Economic Commission for Africa, Cleaver Gatete. The Indian High Commissioner to Malawi, Sri Gopalakrishnan, has commended the strong ties between Malawi and India. Gopalakrishnan made the remarks in Lilongwe during celebrations marking 78 years of Indian independence. Olive Piri has compiled this report.
Celebrations marking 78th anniversary of India's independence at Indian Country Club in Lilongwe started with various performances, including singing and dances. Speaking during the celebrations, Indian High Commissioner to Malawi, Sri Gopalakrishnan, said histories of Malawi and India are intertwined due to the support the two countries have been providing to each other in different sectors. Gopalakrishnan also commended the Malawian government for supporting the welfare of the Indians currently living in Malawi.
Some of the Indian origin people are, in fact, they are the Malawians, more of Malawians than Indians. You talk to anybody, you will see you as if you are talking to the original Malawian. They speak such a nice Sichewa. They are ingrained with the culture and the life of Malawi. So I feel a stranger when I meet them. So they are actually Malawians, and they have been contributing to the socio and economic development of Malawi for last 1 century actually.
Lilongwe City Mayor Esther Sagawa said Malawi values the relationship that is there with India. Sagawa thanked the Indian community for offering many opportunities to Malawians in areas of education, health, and economy. She said the city will continue to support the efforts of the Indian community in the city.
We are ready and eager to work hand in hand with them towards whatever they need from us as Lilongwe City Council. And we know that being our partners, they are also our development partners, because most of the things that we want to implement, we really are going to rely on them, and we need their support for us to achieve our goals towards our clean and green city.
According to the Indian High Commissioner, the first Indians came into Malawi in the 18th century. Olive Piri, MBC News, Lilongwe.
Government says it will continue engaging stakeholders in ensuring that it addresses challenges the social cash transfer program is facing in the country. Minister of Gender, Community Development and Social Welfare, Jean Sendeza, made the remarks in Kasungu when the Parliamentary Committee on Governance and Reform visited social cash transfer beneficiaries to appreciate the impact of the initiative on livelihoods. We have a report by Zomwe.
The Social Cash Transfer Program is meant to promote nutrition and reduce poverty among households. Despite many households that are under the program benefiting, government has been receiving queries on the program, including allegations of corruption in the registering of beneficiaries. Following this, the Ministry of Social Affairs, together with Parliamentary Committee on Social and Community Development and Committee on Governance and Reform, visited some of the Social Cash Transfer Program beneficiaries in Nchisi and Kasungu to appreciate how the program is being implemented, including looking at the challenges that need to be addressed. Chairperson of the Parliamentary Committee on Governance and Reform, Noel Lipipa, said despite the Social Cash Transfer Program facing challenges, the program has proved to be beneficial to a lot of Malawians. Lipipa, however, said the committee will continue to engage with government on how best to deal with the existing challenges within the program.
Due to the cost of living and the devaluation, the amount of money is not enough, 4,000, really to claim that we can alleviate poverty. And therefore, the Minister of Gender, Honorable Jean Sendeza, was here, and she has taken note and she has promised the committee that they are already in discussion with the donor, which is the World Bank, to look into this matter.
And Chairperson of the Parliamentary Committee on Social and Community Development, Saveo Kafafa, has urged the beneficiaries to always use the money wisely so that they can graduate and give room for others to benefit.
For the ones who are careless and their lives haven't improved, they have to be taken out of the program, because if they haven't benefited anything or improved for the past 6 years, even if we put them for another 6 years, I don't think that there will be any improvement. Let's give a chance to others who haven't benefited from the program from the beginning.
Minister of Gender, Community Development and Social Affairs, Jean Sendeza, has called for transparency when selecting beneficiaries. She also emphasized the need to include the elderly and those with disabilities. Sendeza said it is sad and not acceptable to see vulnerable groups being left out of the program.
Objective of the Social Cash Transfer Program is to target the vulnerable. And the vulnerable are those that you have already said, that the elderly, the people with disabilities. Can you imagine a person with disabilities going for a work to do a public works program? It can't. So what we are doing is to make sure that social services, social protection is only for those that deserve to receive the social cash transfer, them to pull back home.
The Social Cash Transfer Program has since transitioned from manual to e-payment in some of the districts in the country as one way of reducing some of the challenges the program is facing. Zomwe, MBC News, Lilongwe.
The Ministry of Education, in conjunction with the Malawi National Examinations Board (MANIB), has released the 2024 Primary School Living Certificate of Education (PLSC) and the Junior Certificate Examination results. Announcing the results in Lilongwe, Executive Director for MANIB, Dorothy Nampota, said the pass rate for both exams has declined compared to last year. Nampota disclosed that out of the 252,448 candidates who sat for this year's Primary School Living Certificate of Education PLCE examinations, 217,708 have passed, representing 86.16%, which is lower than the 87.7% of last year. While out of the 154,504 candidates who sat for JCE, 110,102 have passed, representing 71.20%, which is lower than 72.65% of last year. Meanwhile, Minister of Education, Madalitso Kambawa Wirima, commended MANIB for the timely release of the examinations and efficiency in their work. Kambaua also noted that this is the 5th time the country has had leakage-free examinations since the re-administration of the MSc examinations in 2020.
According to Dorothy Nampota, the Chief Executive Officer for MANEB, 252,448 candidates who sat for this year's Primary School Leaving Certificate of Education (PLACE) examinations, 217,708 learners have passed, representing 86.16%, which is lower than the 87.7% of last year. While the 154,504 candidates who sat for JCE examinations, 110,102 have passed, representing 71.20%, which is lower to the 72.65% of last year. Nampota held digitalization and a number of interventions by government, which has improved the efficiency of their work.
Things that we're not able to see before as going on wrong, we are able to detect them in advance and then find solutions to that. And the other advantage is now that we've rolled out online access to examination results, it's as I'm speaking now, some parents have already accessed their results. They don't have to wait for money to drive to Chitipa to deliver a document for them to see whether their child has passed or not.
Speaking at the press briefing, Minister of Education, Madalitso Kambaua Wirima, commended MANEB for the timely release of the examinations and efficiency in their work. Kambaua also noted that this is the 5th time the country is having leakage-free exams since they re-administered MSCE examinations in 2020, describing it as a good development. On the increase of learners that have been selected to public secondary schools, Kambaua said the construction of additional secondary schools has contributed to the rise.
There are a lot of issues also that are in the way. We need a lot of resources to add on infrastructure that we have, but also maybe to increase ODEL models, the open and distance e-learning modes, so that we can actually, in a faster way, increase access to secondary education, but also access to, if we're talking of higher learning, to the same. So do feel free to clap and clap hard for the government and clap hands for us as well.
On the few irregularities that were encountered during the examinations, the minister promised to deal with all involved and asked all stakeholders to be responsible during examinations. Emmanuel Shikonso, NBC News, Lilongwe.
You're watching NBC News with me, Kumbukani Piri, and my sign language interpreter tonight is Savita Wirima. Remember, you can access all NBC digital platforms by scanning the QR code at the top right corner of your TV screen. A reminder of our top stories. President Chakwera expresses delight over the strong and cordial relations between Malawi and Zimbabwe. The Malawi National Examinations Board MANEB has released the 2024 Primary School Leaving Certificate of Education and the Junior Certificate Examinations results. And in sports, Ascent Academy secures top spot in Group B of the CAF Champions League COSAFA qualifiers with 3 points after beating Eswatini's Young Buffaloes 2-1.
Zoko matu ku Maranatha sizikuteleke titatsekula Maranatha Capital Girls Academy makolo munalankhula tinamva munati mukufuna sukulu ya pamwamba ku Capitolo ya Nyamata ndiye tadzanayo tsopano Maranatha Capital Boys Academy malo ake ndi abwino kwambiri 50 km kuchokera ku Lilongwe pamponera penipeni pacha panali mbole motel chakudya ndi hotel standard kukamba za maphunziro mukudziwa kale inu yonse limaphweketsayi funsani ku university iliyonse ya mdziko muno mukamva kuti hafu ya ana kumeneko anachokera ku Maranatha. Izizi sizomaganizaso kawiri katatu leloli imbani foni pa 0888 993 232 0993 832 832 kapena 0991 276 273. Anyamata onse ofuna kupita ku university chaka chamawa akukhamukira kumene kuku ku Maranatha Capital Boys Academy chifukwa tubaja zikakanika kwenaku ukuku ku Maranatha zimateka.
Welcome to St. Peter's Private Schools in Mponela, where we prepare our students for the future with excellence, diversity and innovation. St. Peter's Private Schools in Mponela offers a wide range of academic programs that cater for the interests and abilities of our students. Our teachers are qualified, experienced and dedicated to helping learners achieve their goals. We have 3 schools under St. Peter's Private Schools. We have a primary school, boys' secondary school and a girls' secondary school at your disposal. Science and technology are crucial in today's world. We have audio visual learning facilities, state-of-the-art laboratory and a modern and well-equipped library. At St. Peter's Private Schools in Mponela, we also celebrate our diversity and our culture. We also prepare our students for the next stage of their lives. So what are you waiting for? Join us at St. Peter's Private Schools in Mponela today and discover your potential. St. Peter's Private Schools in Mponela.
Welcome back to MBC News. The Malawi Congress Party MCP says it follows democratic principles and the rule of law, as evidenced by one of the best elective conventions it conducted a week ago. MCP Publicity Secretary Jesse Kabwila was speaking in Lilongwe during a press briefing organized to update the nation on what transpired at its 2024 convention. Maisochi Kadzula reports.
The Malawi Congress Party MCP Publicity Secretary Jesse Kabwila said the party organized the press conference to inform the nation on what really transpired at its elective conference in Lilongwe from 8th to 10th August 2024. Kabwila said the conference was successful as it was done in a democratic manner. She said the real owners of the party met in Lilongwe where they ushered in new office bearers. Kabwila said delegates elected office bearers will have an impact on the ground. She also said it was encouraging to note that the president was at the convention throughout the whole process. Kabwila said MCP has demonstrated the real rule of law by allowing the Malawi Electoral Commission MEC to preside over the elections without bias. She said the convention elected leaders in its various NEC positions, including Dr. Lazarus Macarthur Chakwera as its torchbearer in the 2025 presidential election, Secretary General Richard Mwendubanda, and First Vice President Catherine Goranihara, who is also Speaker of the National Assembly. During the press conference, Kabwila also highlighted some of the development projects being undertaken in the country, including the road infrastructure development in all the regions. She said the party is committed to initiate more development projects for the people of Malawi without regional considerations. She said the Chakwera administration has revived railway transport, which is a boost to the country's economy.
One thing that we are very proud of and are happy that we are doing it equitably, not only visibly but equitably, because it is being done nationally, is road infrastructure. We have roads being put and of quality, not just roads, of quality being put not only in the central region, but you go to the north, you will see. You go to the eastern region, you are going to find them. You go to the south, you are going to find them. Even if you go to Lakeshore, you will see that we are picking up. The reason why we are saying this is crucial is that roads are actually a key part. One thing that we often miss when we're talking about putting up roads is that we forget that they also save lives.
She said the party is also promoting youth leadership in Malawi so that they contribute to the national development. She said when all the initiatives that are considered, Dr. Chakwera deserved another mandate to govern the country. Maisochi Kadzula, MBC News, Lilongwe.
An independent presidential candidate for the 2025 general elections, Milward Tobias, says one of his targets, if given a chance, is to rule this country, will be to transform the agriculture sector. Speaking to journalists in Lilongwe, Milward said, among other things, he wants to ensure that 70% of the labor force working in the agriculture sector should be active throughout the year, as he will introduce all-year farming through irrigation. He also said increasing agricultural productivity will be key to economic transformation, as this will lead to increased production of agricultural commodities. He explains.
Make agriculture as an anchor of manufacturing, especially agro-processing, and also where we position ourselves as a nation, which has been known to be agro-based economy. We position ourselves as a solution provider to countries that may be in need of food. But for that to happen, we must sort out food security for ourselves first. And by making agriculture resilient to effects of climate change, but also making sure that we make agriculture an integrated activity, so that throughout the year, people are working. As I said in the discussion, 72.7% of total labor force, according to the 2018 Population and Housing Census report, is actually in agriculture. And we can't afford to continue having that labor force working just part of the year and then go idle the rest of the year. So we have to make agriculture integrated. So after rain fed, then people can go into irrigation, if that's what suits best, can go into livestock, can do fisheries and other things. But whatever the case, we must make agriculture an all-season and an all-year-round activity. So when we do that, we forget about food insecurity problem. We also improve farmers, people's incomes, and when people have income, they always spend, and then they begin to afford what they could not afford before.
Preparations for this year's Tonga Cultural Festival, Mdauko wa Tonga, scheduled for this Saturday in Katabe, are said to be at an advanced stage. Chairperson of Mdauko wa Tonga in Mzuzu, Harris Mzumara, said this when Chibuku Products Limited donated 1.8 million kwacha towards this year's festival. Mzumara further said the festival will address the issue of climate change, which he said has negatively impacted various aspects of life in the country. He spoke to Chisomo Manda.
We are set, because what we traditional dances are in place, and then the venue itself, being a new place, because we'll be doing it at Sani, which is the village for Mato. So we are set, all committees are there, they're on the ground, the banners, and then a number of things that we normally talk when it comes to preparation are in place. This year we're looking at the environment. Our environment is our future. What we're saying is, you agree with me that the situation in Malawi is getting worse in terms of environment. And definitely our theme this year around is we are hinting much on the environment, but we need to preserve the environment because that's what we rely on in terms of our day-to-day life. So environment is what we are stressing this year around.
Head of Sales and Distribution at Chibuku Products Limited, Kezilan Soko, said the donation is part of the company's corporate social responsibility.
As Chibuku have seen, we have donated this amount of money, 1.8 million, towards the Mdauko wa Tonga Cultural Festival, which will be celebrated on Saturday the 17th of August. We are happy and proud to be associated with such cultural festival. As a company, we value cultural festival across the country. We are part of the society and we are the people's brand. So doing such thing is not the first thing. We have been doing this few months ago. We have seen what we have been doing regarding the cultural festival. So being the Tonga Cultural Festival, we have thought of, I think, being part of it. As Chibuku will be there, starting from tomorrow, I think we'll dispatch our truck, make sure that the Nkata route, where the cultural festival is being conducted, is fully stocked. All the bars have got stocks.
And finally, in sports, Ascent Academy has defeated Eswatini's Young Buffaloes 2-1 in their CAF Champions League COSAFA qualifiers debut at Mpira Stadium in Blantyre. It has since secured top spot in Group B with 3 points. Praise Majawa has compiled this report read by Norbert Jameson.
The Lilongwe-based club scored through Faith Chinzimu and Alefa Chimbeta, while the Buffaloes found the net through Tenanilwe Sandiswam. Chimbeta was later named player of the match. Buffaloes finished the match with 10 players as Simangele Sinkonse was sent off after receiving a red card in the 78th minute for a foul on Ascent midfielder Letitia Chinyamula. The match was watched by an impressive crowd which rooted for Ascent throughout the afternoon. In an earlier kickoff in Group B, Gaborone United Ladies of Botswana and Mozambique's UD Lichinga each earned a point after a goalless draw. Ascent's next match is against Lichinga on Sunday.
Well, that item also wraps up this edition of MBC News. A reminder of our top stories before we leave. President Chakwera expresses delight over the strong and cordial relations between Malawi and Zimbabwe. The Malawi National Examinations Board MANEB has released the 2024 Primary School Living Certificate of Education and the Junior Certificate Examinations results. And in sports, Ascent Academy secures top spot in Group B of the CAF Champions League COSAFA qualifiers with 3 points after beating Eswatini's Young Buffaloes 2-1. For more on these and other stories, follow our online platforms at Facebook, X, and our website, mbc.mw. You can access all MBC digital platforms by scanning the QR code at the top right corner of your TV screen. You are with me, Kumbukani Piri, and my sign language interpreter tonight was Savita Wirima. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.
Tanzania zikulu zikuchitika Private Academy, the #1